I think that's why we are where we are with that league. If you have way more compelling stories, I'm talking about on the court and play, then the other stuff wouldn't be as big. And it just seems, I told you before, it feels like the Real Housewives kind of drama. There's always something. Somebody has to say something. Somebody's offended every day. And if there was really good basketball going on and things that to talk about in that league, I'm not so sure that people would focus so much on the other stuff.
Well, they are hooping. I won't because I won't. I will agree that I don't think everybody's into it. That's facts. Right? Not everybody's in the UFC. Not everybody in the nobody's. Sanford again. The NFL and baseball and basketball have a massive footprint in this country, but the NFL is bohemian. Everybody doesn't have a huge fan base, so I completely agree with that. Where people aren't everybody's going to the water cooler talking about it. But the product is actually really good if you're a basketball fan. Like if you're into the hoops, they are.
I'm just saying, but still,
they're still relatively in an infancy, Rob. When you go
they've
through the
been
history
around
of the
for
league,
30 years. 30 years is a long time.
But here's where and to be where they are that we're even talking about is big. Because here's what I'll say: when you look back at NFL.
No, the only reason we're talking about it is one reason.
But I'm saying when you look back at leagues, we look at them now. It took those leagues decades to really jump off and get a footing. Like even the daggone Boston Celtics, we glamorize it now more, like the '60s and all that. If you actually go back and look, the NBA was not the NBA like we think it is back then. We love Bill Russell, what the Celtics did, and Havlicek and Bob Cousy. It was not nearly the league.
But the only difference you're not being honest or fair with is if there was no NBA and just the WNBA, it wouldn't have been around. It would have folded. Because they wouldn't have lasted 30 years.
No, but I'm saying,
no,
on their own. The WNBA wasn't helping them.
If the NBA did not
sponsor
the...
Okay, I agree with that. I thought you said there was no NBA. I was going to say, we would need basketball.
No, I'm talking about the would not have made the 30 years it needed to even get to this point. There were other women's leagues before the WNBA. They all folded. And my point is, it needed a lifeline to survive.
Oh, yeah.
I was in Detroit. You know that the Shock
winning rings.
But they couldn't sell any tickets.
Well, beating the Palace did not help.
They could not sell tickets, and they sold out for the finals and the championship or whatever because people wanted to be a part of the winning aspect. But I'm just saying, I think that's why so much focus is not on the basketball and it is on the outside.
Do you agree that I said they're going to have to kind of understand that's how we kind of do sports, like except for the NFL? Because that's the one will come on a Monday and we'll break down more so the games. NBA, we don't really come on.
It's easy to do that for one game a week compared to every night. And even in the NFL, let's just be honest. We've been banging the drums on the same storylines over and over. Aaron Rodgers is a topic. It was Tom Brady all the time. It was the same 5 or 6 guys. I mean, you think you're covering the whole league.
Oh, we ain't talking about the Titans.
Right. We don't talk about the whole league. And even in the NBA, when Denver, the year that they won the championship, how many topics were Denver Nuggets related? Almost none. We talked about ourselves.
We talked about the Pacers. They had the best record in the second half.
And we didn't talk about them, right?
Back near the Tyrese Halliburton went crazy.
And that's all I'm saying is that a lot of times it's personality driven.
I agree.
And unless you're doing something extraordinary or on the court and in the WNBA, I think that's what's missing.
I think they've got this young crop of talent that could do something, and especially when Juju Watkins gets there.
How many games you been to this year?
I have not been to any this year, but
they're so good you haven't even been there yet.
Well, first of all, I got 26 jobs.
Okay, I'm just
and 14 kids.